Good day, children. So previously in the Silk Road, we saw that the narrator, he set off for the journey and he wanted to go to Mount Kailash to do Kora. So he, his friend, both of them, they went with a driver, and the driver told them that he knew the shortcut, and through that they started the journey. And the narrator's sister, cousin, she provided him with a nice sheepskin jacket because it was very cold up in Mount Kailash and he would need it. So these three, they set up for the journey, and while crossing the passes, they came to the dusty area where asses were there, and when they were running and walking, the dust, smoke dust, it flew, and then finally they reached to the rocky area. There they found the people, shepherds, they were guarding their sheep, and then when they went nearby their tent, they were chased by the Tibetan dogs that were called mastiffs, and these, they chased them, and these were the hunting dogs in the Chinese imperial courts. Now we'll read next. And then when they moved further, they saw snow-capped mountains on the horizon, and as they entered the valley, there the river was very wide, but it was all frozen, and the sun rays were falling on it and it was shining, and the meanders were there, the twisted meanders, and the valleys were very deep and they were closed from both the sides. The turns became sharper and the ride bumpier, and the road were very sharp turning, they were having sharp turning and all, and it was not an easy or smooth road, it was bumpier road, and the driver, he put the car in the third gear and they started climbing. The track moved away from the icy river, then from the icy river they moved away, and then they came to the steeper slopes, and here the bright orange lichens were there. Here we have got moss that is green in color, and there they had orange lichens. Beneath the rocks, hunks of snow clung on in the near permanent shade, and then beneath the rocks they could see the snow that was gathered. I felt the pressure building up in my ears, held my nose, snorted and cleared them, and as they were moving up towards the high altitude, then his ears, they were becoming very, means the pressure was on his ears, and the nose also seemed to be choked, and he cleared his nose, and then they struggled towards the bend that was there on the road. And then as the driver stopped the car, both of them, the narrator and his friend, both of them jumped out of the seat, and they knew that the vehicle was it was very vehicle was finding very difficult to move on, and the cold air was there outside, and the friend, his name was Daniel, and he also came out of the vehicle, and he was feeling very cold outside, and the white stuff that was laid across the track on the road, the snow was there, and it was spread, means everywhere it was white, and 15 meters before it petered out, and the dirt trail reappeared, and then they saw far off that to 15 meters or so, it was all white, snow was there, and beyond that, there they could see the dirt. And as you have seen on the sea beach and the places you go to visit, you see that people throw polythene and bottles and all kind of wrappers and all, and that makes the place dirty. So in the same way, here also they found that the place was dirty. All about the dirt was there. The snow continued on either side of us, smoothing an abrupt bank on the upslope side, and beside them there were white snow that was all spread about, and the bank was very steep, means the river bank was very steep and a vehicle to scale, so there was no way round the snow patch, and there was no proper road to go through. I joined Daniel, and as the driver stepped onto the encrusted snow and began to slither and slide forward, stamping his foot from time to time to ascertain how sturdy it was. And then this driver also came out of the car, and he started walking very, means he started putting his foot hard on the snow, and he was trying to find whether it was proper or not, the car could go through it or not, but he was slipping also. I looked at my wristwatch. We were 5,210 meters above the sea level, and when the narrator saw his watch, he could make out that they had moved 5,210 meters above the sea level. The snow didn't look too deep to me, and to him the snow was not very deep, but the danger wasn't its depth. The danger was not the depth of the snow. Daniel said so much as its ice top layer. If we slip off, the car would turn over. But the friend said to him that if we'll move further, the car might slip off and we will fall. And the driver, he picked up handful of dirt and then he threw it on the frozen surface, and then both of them, when the snow was spread with soil, and then both the friend and the narrator, they sat inside the car, and Daniel, he backed up and drove towards the dirty snow, eased the car on its icy surface and slowly drove its length without apparent difficulty, and then the driver drove the car on the dirty snow, and the car moved on quite nicely. And that's all, children. Good day.